Everybody, my name is Maggie Pugh and I'm one of the Partnership Development and Engagement Officers serving in the Surrey Safeguarding Children Partnership team. And I am taking the lead on the new FaST resolution process here in Surrey. So for the next 15-20 minutes, I'd like to talk to you about what the new FaST resolution process is, how it works, why we have had to change the existing escalation process, and why this process is so important within our safeguarding policy and procedures framework. So first slide, please. So what is the FaST resolution process? Well, it is a clearly defined, transparent process that all of our partners can take to escalate their concerns if they believe that a child and or a family are in need of urgent help and support. I should say what it isn't is an alternative way to make a referral, because if you have a concern about a child, then you would make a referral in the normal way, and that is the right and appropriate process to follow. But what happens if you've been through that process and you are actually not happy as a professional with the decisions that have been made about the child and the family that you know really well, and you know what their issues are? What do you do then? Well, this is where this process comes in. You can activate this process. This process can be activated by anyone in any of our partner agencies, whether you're sitting in district and borough councils, local authorities, hospitals, schools, in a charity, wherever you are. If you're working with a child and their family and you have concerns and you don't feel that those needs are being met, you can use this process to get a resolution. FaST actually stands for finding a solution together. It is a child-focused and collaborative approach for overcoming professional disagreements in a timely way. And it's important to say that this process has the backing of all of our partners. It's been agreed with our partners. So when you use this process, you have the backing of the whole partnership with you. Next slide, please. So why do we need to have a FaST resolution process? Well, each case that we look at is unique. A child's needs can be very complex and they will need a tailored solution. There is often no right or wrong solution. Practitioners will exercise their professional judgment sometimes differently and see the right answer as being different to each other. And a child's needs doesn't always fit the conventional application of thresholds. So children and their families can become entangled within professional disagreements, and that can be a distraction, and it can stop them from getting the timely and appropriate support that they need. Can I have the next slide, please? So why are we changing the existing escalation process? Because we've had an escalation process at least for the last 18 months. But at the end of December 2021, we completed an evaluation of the escalation process to see how well it was working. And we talked with and we surveyed those agencies that had actually used the escalation process to find out what was working well and what wasn't working well. And one of the first things that came out was the word escalation itself, because for many it has a negative association. Some people perceive an escalation as making a complaint about a colleague in another agency. And of course, if you're trying to forge closer relationships across agencies, then making what you perceive to be a complaint is not helpful. So we wanted to get rid of the word escalation from this whole process. And we came up with the acronym of FaST. Because it sells the idea that this needs to be a FaST process, but also FaST stands for finding a solution together. So it promotes the working together and the collaborative approach that we are looking for. aimed at making the process more child-focused, as I said, more collaborative and less confrontational. And what we have asked all agencies to do is to identify a single point of contact, someone in that agency that can advise you on who the right person is to address your concern to at each of the 4 or 5 stages in the process. Next slide, please. So this is an infographic that we've produced, a visual display of what the new process looks like. We thought it was important to have a visual because you will not need to use this process all the time. So if you could print off a visual and have it up on a wall, maybe in a school or in a hospital or in the charity, it's there as a visual reminder. So if you come across the situation where you're not happy with the outcome for your child and family, then it's a visual reminder of what the process is that you need to follow. So it starts at the bottom, as you can see, with stage 1. And at stage 1, this is where you have an internal discussion with your line manager, just to make sure that your proposal to start this process is appropriate. Once you've had that discussion and you both agree that yes, it is appropriate to use this process, then you would escalate up to stage 2. Now, this is where you would contact the single point of contact within the agency that you are raising this concern with. And that person or that team, in some cases, will let you know who the right person is to send your stage 2 issue to. And that is really important, that you get it to the right person, because we are only talking about 48 hours for each of these stages. So you want to make sure that you send your issue and your concern to the right person straight away and to give them that full 48 hours. If you don't receive a suitable response within 48 hours, then you can escalate to stage 3. Now, if we just stop there and think, well, what is a suitable or appropriate response? And this can be tricky sometimes. But remember, we're not looking for just a response. We are looking for a resolution, something that you and the other and the agency concerned both agree. And it has to be your judgment, really, to decide whether or not you are happy that the appropriate action is being taken. If it is, then you may put the process on hold. But if you don't think that a resolution is going to be achieved within 48 hours, then you take it up to the next stage. And a good example of when you would take it up to stage 3 is perhaps if you get a response that says, right, the person that deals with this family is not available at the moment because they're away on holiday, but as soon as they get back from their holiday, I, as their manager, will talk to them and we'll get back to you. That is not a suitable response, because it's clear they're not going to find a resolution within 48 hours. So in that case, we would recommend that you move up to stage 3. If you ever have a concern about whether or not you should be moving up to stage 3 or 4, then please do give the partnership a call. We have a special inbox for escalations, and we monitor it regularly. So if you have a question or you need our advice and guidance, then please send us an email and we will get back to you as swiftly as we can to give you that advice. So every 48 hours, if you're not getting the response you require, then you would take it up to the next level. And at each stage, you must go back to the single point of contact in the agency to make sure that you are talking and raising the issue to the right people within that agency. Next slide, please. Thank you. So if you do get to stage 5, this is where the partnership team, the partnership as a whole, gets involved. So if there's no resolution at stage 4, the matter is then escalated to the Safeguarding Children's Partnership, and there you will see on the slide is the email address for all escalations and escalation queries. Stage 1 and 4 of the process must, however, be completed before the matter is escalated up to the partnership. And it's one of the first questions that you'll be asked. We need to make sure that all of the appropriate people within the agency have had the opportunity to consider your concern and to find a resolution before the partnership gets involved. If any stage has been omitted, then the partnership advice to you will be to go back and to complete the missing stage before the action is brought up to the partnership and we get involved. Next slide, please. On raising an issue to stage 5, we will ask you to complete this form. And this form is available now on the SSCP website. The new procedure, the new FaST resolution procedure, has been posted in our procedure manual, and at the bottom of that procedure you will find a link to this form. This form gives us an overview of the case that you are concerned about. And importantly, at the bottom there, you'll see that we ask you, what have you done at each of the first 4 stages? We're looking for the dates, we're looking for who you contacted and what the eventual outcome was and why you have been unhappy with the outcome. If you fill that in and send it into the partnership, can I have the next slide, please? Then our Partnership Development Manager, who is Paul Bailey, will liaise directly with the relevant agency representatives that sit on the SSCP Executive Group. The case will be investigated and a decision reached on a suitable resolution. The learning from the investigation and the escalation process will also be shared with all parties, because it's important that if an escalation or a FaST resolution process reaches stage 5, then something's gone wrong along the way, because we would expect this process to find a resolution earlier on before getting to the partnership level. So we would be investigating and reviewing the escalation process. And the SSCP will be working with its partners to regularly evaluate the use and the outcomes of this process as well, to make sure that it is working in the way that we all want it to work. Final slide, please. So this final slide just shows the links, and you'll get these slides in your post briefing pack. And the first link there is to the actual procedure and gives you more detailed information on the procedure. The second links to the points of contact to assist you with who to contact to make sure that you're going to the right person at each stage. And then the final link there takes you to the form for stage 5 if you reach that stage. This is a new process. It is, as I said, now posted on our website, and we will be evaluating it and tracking it all the way through. So have we got any questions at all about the new process?
Hi, there's no new questions in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Janet. Maggie, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you, everybody. We are earlier. Actually, this is about right in terms of our presentation this morning. So we chose not to have a break, but to let you finish earlier. Just a couple of things going forward. So our next briefing will be on the 30th of June. So please book via the Children's Workforce Academy We ask you to complete the feedback form. In terms of follow-up, Janet will be sending through an email to all of you, thanking you for attending, giving dates and times of next meetings, but we'll also provide you with a presentation and related resources for this report. I hope it has been helpful to you. Thank you so much. I wish you a really, really good afternoon, and the feedback's in the chat. Thank you for your comments and your attention and your time. Have a great afternoon.